Hello and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. So we're going to be doing the weekly astrological forecast for the week of the 19th through the 25th of September. We're going to talk about the equinox a little bit. There is a separate video for the equinox, so I highly recommend that you guys check out that video if you want more details about the energies of that. I'm also going to be leading a guided meditation to really welcome in those beautiful equinox energies on the equinox at the time of the equinox. So that's going to be 12:21 p.m. Eastern or Pacific Standard Time, 3:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Adjust for your time zone. So definitely check out that video for a more depth analysis of the equinox. We are in the shadow of Mercury retrograde this week. And so speech, communication, all of that is really slowing down. It's flip-flopping. We're really feeling that as we're building toward that. So just know that, be aware of that in your communications with others. That video will be forthcoming later this week. Mercury will station and begin its retrograde on the 26th, which is the day after this forecast. So we're not going to be talking about Mercury retrograde until next week. And we're primarily going to go over those energies in the Mercury retrograde video. But we are warming up to this beautiful full moon in Pisces today. As I'm recording this, it is the 19th. And there is a video on that came out last night. If you guys haven't checked that out, absolutely do. Really powerful energies. We're not going to get too much into those energies because there's a whole video dedicated to it. So I definitely suggest that you check that out. If you guys are interested, I am doing the full moon consciousness raising and releasing ceremony at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night during that full moon. So feel free to join that. The information on how to do so is listed in the description box below. Really working to enunciate my words right now. So yeah, we're feeling the energies of that beautiful Piscean energy. This beautiful, spiritual, soulful energy as we're coming into this deeper relationship with our souls, and a deeper layer of our soul's truth is being revealed to us. So really just sink into those energies today. Enjoy those energies. We also have a very pleasant trine between Mercury and Jupiter today. And this is going to be going on during the full moon tomorrow as well, and then beginning to peter off afterwards. We also have Mercury while being trined by Jupiter, or while trining Jupiter, making a sextile to Eris, which we know as that feminine warrior energy. So this is actually a very beneficial aspect, the way I'm feeling it. It feels as though if there's something important, some important conversation that you need to have, especially when it comes to being able to assert your needs or ask for something that you need, the next couple days are a really great time to do that because the energies are really supporting you. With Mercury trine Jupiter, it's supporting the ways that we communicate. It's making us more personable, right? It's allowing us to be more charming and to really get our point across and be able to just successfully communicate what it is that we want others to know in a way that they're going to respond favorably to. And with this sextile to Eris, that's just increasing our confidence and our ability to do so, and maybe making us, if we've been holding back on saying something or having a discussion that needs to be had, that's giving us that little extra oomph in order to do so. So we just want to make sure that we're capitalizing on that beautiful Jupiterian energy so that we say what we need to say in a way that is going to be well received. With that Eris energy, it can make us a bit blunt. It can make us a bit straightforward, which is not a bad thing. But we want to make sure that we don't come off as combative. So we really want to call upon that Jupiter energy in order to really utilize that in the most beneficial way possible. All right. Yeah. So this is a day too in the next couple days where with these astrological alignments, with the Mercury trine Jupiter energy, good news may be coming through. Some people may be receiving good news. It's a really great time. If you have some good news that you've been waiting to share with people and you haven't felt like it was quite the right time yet, the next couple days are a great time to do that as well, to share your own good news. Yeah, so we talked about this full moon in Pisces a little bit. We mentioned the video. This is also, and we talk about this in the video, a galactic activation portal. And so it is the white solar wind galactic activation portal that we're experiencing on the 20th with this full moon in Pisces. So there's a lot of powerful energies coming in for us, a lot of really activating energies. And it is, as we discuss in the video, really an energy of dissolving some aspect of the ego identity, some aspect that is not truly who we are, so that we can become more aligned with the truth of who we are. And it's also an energy when we're looking at I said I wasn't going to get into it, but it's hard not to sometimes. It's an energy that's really showing us where our motives and what our motives and intentions are, and whether our motives and intentions are in line with the truth within our souls. So really powerful energy. As I said a few times now, I think definitely check out that video. Then as we move on from the full moon, and remember, we feel that full moon energy for a couple days on either side of it. Definitely the day before and the day after, very strongly still. So as we move into the 21st, we're still in that full moon energy. And it is traditionally a time of harvest and a time of releasing. But that harvest theme is really strong this time because it is the harvest moon. And it is happening right before the equinox, which is also a time of harvest. So really being grateful, stepping into that energy of gratitude and beginning to see some of the things that we've been putting consistent effort into manifesting in the physical world, which is really beautiful and really exciting. It's also a time to review our harvest. It's very Seven of Pentacles energy, right? So how far have I come? What have I created so far? What do I want to create next? And am I in alignment in order to do that? All right, on the 21st, we have the moon opposing Mars in a sextile to Saturn and the nodes. And so this is an interesting energy. And as the moon continues to move later that evening, it's going to come into a conjunction with Chiron. And it is going to be sextile Juno, true black moon in Ceres. And we're going to talk about that energy a little bit later when we talk about a couple of the sort of overarching energies that are going to be present throughout the week and powerfully influencing us. We're going to get to those at the end. But we do have a lot of action going on with the moon on the 21st. So really this whole week, right? Because we're in the warm up for the full moon energy today on the 19th, experiencing the peak of that energy on the 20th, still in that energy on the 21st. And then the moon is making some more moves as it continues to progress through the zodiac. So when we have all of this activity going on the 21st, it's really going to bring into focus our sense of responsibility for our own growth, right? Because we have Saturn involved here, as well as the nodes, which denote our progression, right? The south node is the old energies. The north node is the energies we're growing and evolving into. And with that Saturn and that moon energy, and then the moon later conjuncting Chiron, which is the wounded healer, which is all about our healing process in this lifetime and how we then are able to use and express those healing gifts, right? Our greatest gifts are uncovered when we work with the energy of Chiron. So we're really being asked to take responsibility. Saturn's saying it's time to take responsibility for our own growth. We're really going to be urged forward in some area of our lives towards the path that we've chosen in this lifetime, right? Towards our purpose, towards whatever it is that our soul decided to grow and evolve to, and whatever phase or cycle of that we are currently in right now. So major soul lessons are coming into focus right now, and we may feel a little bit of emotional resistance coming up, especially where we have the moon in the sign of Aries, right? And so when it conjuncts Chiron is also in Aries. So that is the energy of the individual, right? That is the energy of the self. Aries is that independent fire, cardinal fire energy. It is that initiating force. And so there is that streak of independence and that streak of stubbornness and like, I want what I want when I want it kind of an energy, right? Give me a second here to hone my energy right in. Yeah, and we have that energy opposing Mars, which is in the sign of Libra, which is all about the other. So that's where that resistance, especially when it comes to our own soul growth, right? And our path, the way that we see our path forward. And anywhere where we're noticing that the relationships, the outside interactions in our lives are possibly, like, people are needing other things from us, or people are wanting other things from us, right? So that sort of tug of war of wanting to follow the path of our soul when we may be sort of guided to follow a different path or to take a different route than the one we want to take. And so that's what we want to look at. We don't want to get too hyper focused on the specific route that we want to take. We want to leave that up to the divine. We want to leave that open, and we want to be open to all possibilities, because we are being shown a powerful path forward. It just might not be the way that we expect. And so we want to be open so that more can be revealed to us. And there may be actually a higher road and solution and sort of way to get towards where it is that we believe that we're going, right? Because a lot of times we think we know, but we really have no idea than what it is that we originally had thought. And so wounds that are wanting to be healed and coming up around this time may have to do with our sense of safety and security, when it goes to our ability to live our own lives, our ability to do what we want, to have what we want, our ability to assert ourselves and our will in the world. Okay, let's see what else here. Yeah, and it's that repeating energy we have, this desire to be free, right? This is desire to be free versus the needs and the wants of the others. And so as we move forward, yeah, Mars in Libra, and we talk about this in the Mars in Libra season video. So if you guys haven't checked that out, I highly encourage you to. But Mars in Libra isn't just all about people pleasing and all of that energy. Mars in Libra can be very powerful when we step into the higher vibration of that. And so Mars in Libra is really good at helping us find compromise, at helping us understand other people's needs and points of view and create win-win situations. So we're going to really see, we're going to be shown if we put the effort in and if we're open, where it is that it's possible to create a win-win situation and where it simply isn't. And this is going to be especially highlighted during the Mercury retrograde in Libra. So by the end of that Mercury retrograde, and we're getting a taste of it now, we're really going to see and understand, okay, where is it that I'm being asked to compromise too much of myself, and this is simply not going to work, especially when it comes to relationship, but in any and all areas of our lives. And where is it where I can bend a little bit, or where there is a creative solution that I hadn't seen before. So we're going to know where it is that we need to cut ties and move on and wash our hands of situations, and where it is that there actually is a middle ground that we can find. All right, then we have the equinox on the 22nd, and I believe I shot the beginning for this video a couple times, so I can't remember what I said and didn't say, but I'm pretty sure I did mention that we're going to be doing the live meditation during the equinox, and the equinox video will be out or just about to premiere as soon as I get done posting this video. This video will probably upload after that's already been started, so definitely check that out. Really powerful energies that we're receiving with this equinox, this beautiful time of harvest, this time of fruition, this deep healing energy, this hugely heart chakra activating energy that we're receiving as we move through this powerful portal. It is also a galactic activation portal today in the galactic calendar, and we talk about the energies of that in the equinox video as well. Let me just take a peek here because I want to make sure I get this right. Where are we? September 22nd. Oh, that's the white solar wind energy. I think I said that. So here, I'm correcting myself here. The white solar wind energy is the galactic activation portal of the equinox. The yellow resonant sun energy is the galactic activation portal of the full moon in Pisces. So that yellow sun energy is all about enlightenment. It's all about presence. It's all about being, which is absolutely perfect when we're working with the energy of Pisces, which is very much about all of that. And this white solar wind energy is all about communication. It's working with the breath. It's understanding the connection between the breath and the consciousness. It's receiving and being open to messages from spirit, from that divine inspiration, and sharing that divine inspiration with others. So a really beautiful energy to have during and kicking off that equinox. Yeah, and so we're going to talk about this right now just because it's relevant during the equinox. So this is an overriding energy that we have going on this week. And that's a T-square between Mercury, Pluto, and Eris. And so this Pluto is the focal point of this T-square. And then we have Mercury on one side and we have Eris on the other side. And so Eris in Aries, Mercury in Libra, with Pluto in Capricorn as the focal point. And the moon is going to be joining this T-square and conjuncting Eris in the sign of Aries, which we talked about a little bit. So we're going to get more into that energy now and just this overriding energy. What the moon's doing when it enters this T-square is it's just activating it, especially on that emotional level. It's bringing a deeper emotional activation and activating more of our subconscious, activating more of our instinctual nature, and just making it the energy that much more powerful and pronounced. So this T-square is all about transformation, have Pluto being the focal point, right? Death, rebirth, transformation, the shadow. This is a big energy of things being revealed. Okay, we have Mercury, which represents the mind, represents communication, right? And then we have Eris, which we know as that feminine warrior planet, right? She has a lot of plutonic energy to her as well. And Eris is the energy that exposes that which has been swept underneath the rug. Right? We talk about it like the elephant in the room, right? She points very loudly. She points and she says very loudly, there's an elephant in the corner over there. Everybody look at this elephant. And so, especially with Mercury, the planet of communication involved in this, right? This is really powerful. And remember, we have Aries, the sign of individualism, right? The sign of the self. And then we have Libra, the sign of others, right? This, but also a sign of justice and equality, right? And Eris also representing justice and maybe more of the intense ways that we go about seeking that justice, right? But that Libra energy is the more balanced and way that we go about seeking justice. And then we have Pluto, which is all about power, and in the sign of Capricorn about authority. And so we're really looking at some tension when it comes to the authority figures in our lives right now, and collectively we're possibly looking at reveals, information coming out, information that shifts people's perceptions and perspectives of things. So many of us have been waiting for a big reveal as far as another layer of truth being revealed to the collective in a way that they'll understand and possibly accept, right? Because it's interesting, this whole cognitive dissonance thing, right? And how a lot of times truth is revealed, but people don't listen to it because it doesn't fit their narrative, and because it's not coming from the sources that they've been trained to trust, right? And so we may see a shakeup of all of that. We may see a shakeup of distribution of power. We may see people really getting a new understanding of what justice means and where injustice exists, and where injustice exists, where perhaps before it's like what people thought of as justice and injustice, that's possibly getting flipped around a little bit here, especially with Mercury getting ready to go retrograde, right? And also just so many planets and aspects that work with the subconscious as well. So this is on a personal level as well. We may be experiencing this as well as on an outer level. We're going to be thinking on a personal level, where is it that we feel suppressed or repressed by authority figures or institutions or by others in our lives, right? And we talked about that a little bit when we just talked about the moon having that relationship to Saturn and the nodes and all of that, right? So there's a lot of those, and that opposition to Mars. So there's a lot of those energies that are really asking us to look at that realistically, to look at where it is that we are holding an aspect of ourselves back, and why, and is that worth it, right? And of course, really truly holding back our truth is never worth it. But there are times and there are different ways to express things, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, this is we're gonna notice this. We're gonna be paying attention. We're gonna be drawn to where we see injustice happening, either in our lives or the lives of others. And we're really gonna be called to think about, like, okay, so I see that, I recognize that. Now, what am I gonna do about that? We're also going to be possibly looking at where we have participated in injustice, whether as a willing participant or simply by sitting back and doing nothing, or simply by accepting the injustice that we see around us, right? Like it's not aimed at me, or it is aimed at me, but it's not affecting me that badly. It's that energy of complacency. Where have we been complacent with injustice? Or for some of us, having actually acted in an unjust and unfair way. That's going to be really coming into our consciousness for us to examine. We may, oh yeah, this was interesting. I got the energy that we may have subconscious memories rising to the surface from this lifetime or others that bring new questions and perspectives to our consciousness where these elements are concerned. And this is really an opportunity to claim sovereignty over our minds and our lives and to transform some aspect of our inner selves and reality for the better. But it might be a little harsh. It might be a little intense. Eris and Pluto are not known to be gentle. And we could have a lot of powerful emotions, be experiencing a lot of powerful emotions from in the world around us as well as internally as a result of these super intense energies. Another powerful energy that we have going on throughout the week, just to close out the throughout the week energies here, is Chiron being within a trine to Juno, sextile, Ceres, and true black moon. And so we have Juno, which represents marriage and partnership. We have Ceres, which represents the nurturing feminine. She represents not only how we mother others, but how we mother and nurture ourselves as well. And we all know true black moon Lilith, right? She is a favorite here. And so she is the shadow feminine, but she is the wild and free feminine energy, the rebellious feminine energy. And so this is really interesting because remember, Chiron is the wounded healer. And so we're looking at wounds coming up to be healed. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to marriage, partnership, when it comes to gender roles, right? Because we have this true moon, black moon energy. We have this marriage energy. We all are, maybe we don't, but we talk about this sometimes, right? The story of Lilith. And how she was in mythology, she was the original wife of Adam, but she refused to submit to Adam. She refused to be beneath him. She wanted to be his equal. She saw herself as her equal, which of course she is. She wanted to stand beside him. And that was frowned upon by the powers that be, by Adam himself. And so she was cast out of the Garden of Eden and she was replaced with Eve. And the story goes on, and there's a lot of intensity to that story. And so sometimes true black moon can represent where we feel repressed or suppressed, where it is that we're most desiring to break free, or where we tend to be most rebellious, right? Because Lilith was a rebel. Lilith is a rebel. And this is why, of course, she got painted with such a bad name, right? And people think about a lot of dark energies when they think about Lilith. She is a dark goddess. But remember, dark goddesses are not bad, right? They are just the other side, the other spectrum. We embrace the dark and the light. And so she brings a lot of powerful energy with her. And so we're looking at all of these energies. And so with the marriage partnership and the true black moon energy, and this series, this nurturing energy, right, which is in many ways a traditional role of the feminine, the way that we look at the role of the feminine. There's a deep healing going on here. But we're really going to be paying attention, and we're really going to be noticing where we have this outdated thinking still, where that is present, right? Like the idea of what a man's role and a woman's role is, what a man's supposed to be, and especially what a woman is supposed to be. And what a woman is supposed to be to a man. And this doesn't necessarily, I know that this can play out in same-sex couples. This can play out not even in couples, right? We can get triggered by these things and notice these things in people around us or in the way people treat us that we're not even in relationship with, right? But it's going to be brought to the surface. It's going to be shown so that we can receive a deeper level of healing around this. But it's really, I like it. It's like I put here the white and the black Madonna. That's really what the energy is. And so the gift here, the opportunity, is to balance and merge the white and the black Madonna. And just have that beautiful divine feminine energy in its full totality. Because that's what we're working and that's what we're moving towards. And really balancing the role of the feminine and the masculine, right? Really beginning to rework and see those as different from how they've been portrayed, and break out of those frames, break out of those molds of like what is socially acceptable and expected of the feminine. So that's a really powerful energy that we're experiencing this week as well. So as you can see, a lot of intensity. All right, let's see what else we have. Okay, and then speaking of intensity, on the 23rd, we have Venus in an opposition to Uranus. And so this is an intense aspect, right? We have Venus in Scorpio, which is, if you guys haven't checked out the Venus in Scorpio video yet, check that out. It's big energy, okay? So Scorpio is that sign of passion. It is that sign of seething emotion that lies oftentimes just beneath the surface, right? It's like if you think of a volcano that appears to be still on the outside, but inside that molten lava is boiling and at some point ready to erupt. That is sometimes the energy of Scorpio. Scorpio is also a beautiful energy of deep, intimate connection. Scorpio really does not like surface level anything. It is not a shallow energy. It likes to go deep. So during Venus and Scorpio, yes, we can have that intensity. Yes, we want to be careful for that. We want to be careful of those shadow aspects. Remember, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, so we have those Plutonic energies. We have those shadow energies coming up. So there's definitely those energies of obsession, of compulsion, those energies of jealousy and envy, and all of those lower vibratory things, possessiveness. But there's also this beautiful energy of connection and really getting to know one another on a deeper level. That's what we're going to be looking for in all of our relationships as Venus moves through Scorpio. We're going to want to get down to the meat. We're going to want to really connect with each other's souls on that soul to soul level. Right, but we got this intense Venus going on here, and she's opposing Uranus, which is, of course, the planet of rebellion, the planet of chaos. That is the planet of higher inspiration, right? But it's a planet that denotes change. All right, so I'm just trying to get my bearings here. So in this opposition, we're really going to be looking at our deepest values and desires. Remember, with Uranus in the sign of Taurus, that is transforming our value system, what it is that has meaning to us. And so with this Venus and Scorpio energy, Venus in Scorpio does not allow, like we said, that shallow energy. It doesn't allow us to ignore. Like Scorpio can try to ignore their deepest desires and passions, but that's when that lava that we were talking about really begins to boil, and that's when eventually it boils over. So in order to avoid that, those desires and those needs need to be addressed. Those passions need to be acknowledged. And so we're really going to be seeing where it is that our values have shifted and we're still not in alignment with that. If there is anywhere where that is present, there's going to be a lot of tension until we shift. So it's about moving out of resistance. Moving out of resistance and allowing the change that's wanting to occur, allowing the alignments that are wanting to occur, and taking that action where we need to take that action in order to bring ourselves into alignment. Because yes, Uranus is the planet of divine intervention, but we don't always receive divine intervention. Sometimes it's about taking that initiative ourselves, especially when we're moving to that 10-10 portal, when we're in this initiation energy right now. It's very, very important, us being called to step up, to make that effort. And so things are just going to get more and more uncomfortable until we do make that effort. This is an energy and a day on or around this time where we can see major changes happening in relationships, in jobs, in finances, all of these different areas. Big shifts happening seemingly out of nowhere, but it's not actually out of nowhere. It's just that things have reached that boiling point. All right, on the 24th, we have Mars in a trine to Saturn. And this is a really great way to be ending the week because this is the trines are supportive energies. So this is a really beautiful supporting energy that's really motivating us. It's helping us to move forward with our goals and our plans. It definitely is, with that Mars and Libra energy, like we talked about, lending itself to finding mutually agreeable solutions to perceived challenges and problems, and really moving beyond what we perceive to be as an obstacle or a challenge. There's a lot of confidence, vitality, capability that we're going to be experiencing and able to tap into with this Mars trine Saturn energy. So it's a really great day to initiate a project, to do more work on a project, and to just kind of like to take that step forward. If there's been an area where you've been sort of waiting for a good time to start something, the 24th is that time. And no major aspects really on the 25th to speak of, which is kind of a relief when you look at everything that we just talked about. Wow, this went 30 minutes just with the astrology. There's a lot going on, you guys. All right, so we are going to pull a liquid crystal oracle card. Clear. What guidance do we have for the upcoming week? What crystals can we work with in order to maximize these energies? And remember, every single energy is an opportunity for evolution, right? So there are no good or bad energies. Even the challenging energies are really just pushing us to grow that much more powerfully. And so we want to always be looking at how can we maximize these energies and the potential of these energies in a positive way. What can we learn? And so coming out for us this week, we have Peridot, the bringer of joy. We love that. And then we have Crocite, passion. All right, so there's that passionate energy coming in. And on the bottom of the deck here we have Amazonite, the middle road. And under that Charoite, individuation, which is interesting. And Obsidian, true self-reflection. So that's that shadow energy right there. With the lunar path, silver under that, which is perfect for this week that is so dominated by the moon. We're not going to read all of these, though. I just thought it was interesting to kind of I'll let you guys know what I was seeing there. All right, but we are going to read Peridot. Amidst all this intensity, right, we have to find that joy. We have to take those moments and those opportunities to be joyful everywhere that we find them. And so the Master Crystal Deva of Peridot is Ariel. And I want you to look at that. There is light language in these cards, and so you can receive the frequency and the activation of the crystal by reading the light language. And so this says, embrace me, I have waited for you patiently in the halls of Thoth, where your return is written in stone, cast in time eternal. Breathe and let our shared life force flow through you. You and I are about to enter a space of joy, so you may shine like the solar sun from which you originate. Hand in hand, let us ignite you and spread the light by your realized glow. Allow your state of being to enter joy, unconditional, and others will follow. In my presence, disease is a thing of the past. There is only happiness. Let it become the basis of your creative avenue. I bless the gift that you are. The fire of earth burns in me and will be released into joyful creation at your asking. That's volcanic sounding, isn't it? The planetary song echoes your journey. Let us return to a single light. I await your calling. And so I really, sorry you guys, I just want to check and make sure. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I have someone on their way over. I want to make sure they weren't locked out or anything like that. But I really love how it's connecting with our joy and connecting with our passion, right? That's with these two cards combined. It's like you find your joy through your passion. You find your passion through your joy. So I really love that. And everything that we're experiencing right now is bringing us to this place where we can experience more joy. But just know joy is available to us in every single moment. Right? What you seek is seeking you. If you seek joy, you will find it. If you seek passion, you will find it. We can be joyful. It's always a choice, right? All right, so let's see what else we want to... Generally, the person that needs Peridot is lacking inspiration, feels trapped in the physical world, and is tired of their own negativity, from which it feels there is no escape. The common state of our world over time develops into anger, depression, stress, and even jealousy. When Peridot shines its hidden light, the heart and solar plexus chakras ignite into communication, and the mind is stimulated into action. It is from here that Peridot teaches the cycles of life, allowing the release of the past by placing power and trust into the heart, thus rebirthing self-love and forgiveness that can only lead to healing and joy. So this is a great stone to use if you feel some of those shadow energies that we were talking about popping up. This crystal can help to bring you out of that energy, right? If you are feeling tired, if that negativity, that negative thinking, that negative mindset just keeps creeping back in, work with the energy of Peridot. Peridot, with its gentle way of power and love, is a great development stone for the sensitive. It can gently activate the psychic ability and offer life purpose. While for those who struggle to see beyond the confines of a physical world, it can open the doors to other possibilities. We like that, right? Peridot was the favorite stone of Cleopatra and is still the sacred contact stone for her divine energy and wisdom. Ooh, we like that. Peridot is a key stone for one of the most ancient initiations of the Sacred Order of the Essenes and is mentioned in their library, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Very interesting. It was also utilized by an ancient order of the Druids in the creation of the Green Rose of Avalon. This is a sacred stone of Egyptian goddess Mot, the Lady Nada, Paul the Venetian Master, and the Ascended Master Sananda, which is Jesus Christ. And it also balances the endocrine and digestive systems and is useful in childbirth, just in case anyone was worrying. It is one of the few stones that are a healing tonic for the entire body. So for those of you who are into making crystal tonics, working with Peridot can be very powerful. All right. And so this is interesting. It says, the answer to the question that is at play in your life right now is a resounding yes. Few minerals on the earth are as a positive a sign as Peridot. She has entered your life to shine her empowering optimism and love upon whatever shadows have crept into your heart and areas of self-belief. The arrival of Peridot in life usually signals a healing and rebirth of sorts. A part of self is to be replaced by a greater, more purposeful avenue, where personal power is allowed to shine through the heart rather than stand alone. How perfect is this, right? We're talking about this with that full moon in Pisces too, the dissolution of an aspect of our old ego identity as we merge more deeply with our soul. This is so, and all of the energy of personal power, right? This is a great time for you to forgive, forget, and let go of the past. Try not to look over your shoulder, for those cycles of life have closed in Peridot's embrace to give rise to a brighter way of life containing all that you would term as joyful, a life that you truly deserve. All you need to do now is accept it. Write a list of all the things that make you happy. Gratitude, right? Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. And spend some time knowing you deserve them. Only when we feel something can it enter our lives. Thinking we deserve something means nothing to the feeling heart that creates your happiness. Okay, I had to read that again for a second. So feeling into it. We need to feel into it. So feel into that joy. Like we said, feel into that joy and attract more joy. Seek that joy, and that joy is seeking you, and Peridot may be a way to help you find it. The affirmations for Peridot are, I embrace personal power and love as one, and I burn the green fire of joy in my heart. Ooh, we like that. And there is a joy and happiness trinity and an aggression, anger, and power healing trinity. How effing perfect, you guys. I'm going to put those in the description box below. And then we're going to look at Crocite. And this middle way, the middle road, I really like this. We're not going to read this card, but I like this. So this, to me, feels useful for anyone when we're talking about that Mars and Libra energy that's helping us to find that middle road, that road of compromise in the areas where we can discover those win-win situations for everyone. Work with the energy of Amazonite if you're wanting to figure that out. Crocite. All right, here we go. Crocite. And once again, take in the light language on that card for a moment. The Master Crystal Deva is Ulu-Rael. And this is what we have to say about Crocite. Or this is what the Master Crystal Deva has to say about Crocite. Mine is the domain of passion. Take my hand. See a red flame above your crown. Call it down to the base and feel the serpent stir. Let an erupting column of fire toward the crown be my welcome, and your rediscovery and embrace of me. Let us create. So there's that Kundalini awakening energy, right? Expression of perfection and feminine power through the masculine avenue is my domain. I stimulate the animal and primal nature of humanity, which is too easily lost in modern life. I am love expressed as instinct. Feel me run through you. I am the breath in the lion's roar. Together now, hand in hand as serpents entwined, let the earthly gift, co-creation, be your guiding light to eternal happiness and joy. Embrace your creative spark and live, for only those that express pure passion will knowingly hold the holy grail and swim in its sacred waters. Whew, that is intense, right? Wow. Expression of perfection and feminine power through the masculine avenue, which is really interesting. So it's the blending, the merging of the masculine and the feminine, the calling of the empowered feminine, like we were talking about, right? That Kundalini awakening energy, this stirring that passion within you. If you have been lacking passion, right? All right, let's see what else this has to say. And also I'm feeling maybe to balance passion. We'll find out here. Let's see. Everything that Crocite does, it does in a very powerful, physically active way. It addresses passion at many levels, not just in relation to sexuality. Thus can be called into action when the flame has gone out for anything that makes up an important part of your existence. This crystal calls the highest energies into base and lower energy centers to facilitate movement and transition when needed, and is able to facilitate movement from one state to another. In Atlantean times, Crocite was utilized with amethyst and garnet as a euthanasia stone, facilitating the movement from one life to the next. Interesting. At the physical level, Crocite is a master of male and female reproductive disorders, hormone imbalances, etc., etc. This is the doorway stone when paired with black obsidian to the ancient Egyptian goddess Bast, and is a potent stone of tantric practice. The Lady of the Sun will answer in this stone's presence. And I was telling you, it was, I think it was the full moon reading where I was saying there was a lot of that really lusty, passionate energy coming in too. So it's interesting, like that hot, primal, sexual energy. So it's interesting that we got this crystal again. And so really, I feel people powerfully working with their sexual energy this week as well, as all of these passions are stirred, right? And really, it's like connecting with our primal selves, but also with our higher selves and merging that energy. And that's what we talk about when we talk about the feathered serpent, right? And so working with that and that balance, right? Middle road. Okay, let's see here. If Crocite has come to you today, it is time to look at the lower chakra system, from your solar plexus down to the base for the balance of passion. Passion is crucial to the solar plexus for direction, self-love, and identification in the world. Passion is crucial at the sacral for co-creation, creativity, freedom, and choice, all right? It's so important that we move from this place of passion. That's what fires us up. That's what keeps us going. With all of this intensity in the world right now, we have to match that intensity. We have to call upon our own passion in order to move us forward. And so anywhere where you're feeling stuck, where that light has gone out, this is another way to activate that, to turn that light back on. Passion is crucial at the base chakra for sexuality, raw physical direction, and physical life mastery. Remember, as you explore passion, that blind passion shows a lack of mastery and the presence of ego. Addiction is the extreme of blind passion unchecked, while depression is the extreme of a lack of passion expressed in life. Yes, so like we said, it's the balancing. As with all things, balance is the key. The principal rule is do what you love, not what the world would have you do. Passion is personal. Share it with those you love and those who love you. Okay, and this is not what we talk about all the time. Do what you love, not what the world would have you do. And is that not a major theme of this week as well? So perfect right there. And the placements for this, there is a Sexuality Trinity given here. And it works with the lower chakra system. Yeah. So working with any of those, if you're really looking for that vitality, work with the sacral or the solar plexus or the root, right? For the sexual energy, work with the sacral or the root. And for that empowerment and that revitalization of purpose. Work with the solar plexus is what I'm feeling. And the affirmation for Crocite is, my fire shines brightly, I express passionately. And we are just going to take a peek real quick at Amazonite. Let's see here. And we're just going to, this is calming, bridging the gap where polarities dwell, and opening up your true personal expression as spirit via the physical. So a lot of physical, powerful physical energy right now that we're working with today. Yeah, work with Amazonite. If you are confused or you're not sure, you're really working to try to figure out the direction of your path in life or how to make choices and decisions. Yeah, I'm just going to read this for you guys. The time is here to empower yourself and see your achievements in life, your progress. From that space, make the choice or decision that you have been putting off. The reason for your delay where this change is concerned is that you or someone close to you is unable to see the bigger picture as it is hidden from view. A new original way or path, gifted and governed by spirit. Right? Were we not just talking about that, right? The path, these paths that we may be all of a sudden finding, these solutions. The path revealed where we saw none. So working with the Amazonite is really going to help if you related to that and resonated with that. And we're like, really, I really hope that comes through for me during this next week. This is going to be helpful with that. All right. The new solution is a shade of both the black and the white. It combines all the options that have resulted in the inaction to this point. Listen to the self. It only knows the truth at the heart. And the affirmation is, I walk the path I am. Yeah. So, and once again, looking with the Libra energies here, living in that gray area, seeing beyond the black and the white, right? Merging that, coming into that area where all of life truly unfolds and exists. All right, you guys, I love you so much. I appreciate you so much. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to donate to the channel. It is always appreciated, but I appreciate each and every single one of you, no matter what. Drop a comment down below. Let me know how this video resonates for you and how you're feeling about the week ahead. And I will talk to you all very, very, very soon.